with some sense. And guys, I just want to talk to you today a little bit about AI, because I don't want a lot of y'all to get caught up in a lot of the information that's floating around, a lot of hype, because a lot of infomercials are floating around with paid ads and people tell you about this AI and that AI, etc. Right? What I want you to understand is still use ChatGPT for your foundation and use it for the elementary part of whatever you're trying to do. What I mean about that, I want you to get real familiar with it, and I want you to understand it's all about how you prompt it. What prompting means, you have to understand how to go to it and talk specifically to it in real details, meaning like we having a real conversation. You won't type up a lot of things, but you want to make sure that you're giving it all that it need to know about what you do. You don't just go that general and just put up anything, okay? You want to make sure that you're in depth talking to it like you're talking to a human being. So you might first talk to it, voicemail, voice message, etc. Right? You just type it like in depth. Probably have a lot to do with the in-depthness and the layers of creating to be in your own making of your thinking and what you're creating. So when you go there, I want you to understand, before you go to these other AI platforms, I want you to learn how to prompt it through ChatGPT. So that way, when you start getting it to create you the concept that you're looking for, you do decide to feed it to another AI platform, you won't be going to the other AI platform really naked. What I mean by naked, because when you go to the other platforms, you're going to be confused. So what I'm telling you is if you don't follow the layers of how AI was structured right in so many words, you're gonna automatically be all over the place, because everything on a tight ship. If you're a brainiac like me, you have a lot of information that you're not gonna know how to apply, you're not gonna know how to use it, you're just gonna be all over the place. And trust me, for the last 2-3 years or longer, I've been touching the surface with it. I'm still not in depth with AI, but the K I've been using it. For example, when I did these new Soursop Gummies for our company, instead of me hiring a developer or five or etc. to actually create the concept that I needed, send it to my vendor to package it, so far and so on. All I did was went right to chat, right, and sent them a concept of what I was looking for. Told them create me an image. When they create an image, of course, I had to modify a lot of the information from the back, because chat do give you generic information. It's your job to modify that part. So that's why I say you got to know how to modify a lot of this stuff that's dealing with AI, because they can give you the concept, but when you look at the concept, some of the dynamics going to be a little off. So what I'm saying is, all this go back to me personally understanding chat. And you might have something that's a little bit more advanced than chat, but you don't want to be displaced mentally, because when you get all this information from this one and that one, guess what happens? You got too much information to use to get started. So I'm telling you, I want you to totally understand first, you Chat GPT, and most important, learn how to prompt it, learn how to go in depth, type up whatever you got in mind and let it spit you back out what it need to spit you out. But then drive the AI. What I mean by drive it, you just can't let it give you what it's giving you. You got to say, no, I don't want this. I want this, like this, that, and the third, because it's still your idea, your strategy, your concept, whatever you're doing. So with that being said, don't just boss up, level up, and I'm going to keep talking more and more sense.